Hello farmers, welcome back to East Vineland. I'm in a John Deere 6R, is it a 6.2 something? 230R. I'm cultivating a beautiful field over here, and I don't know why I lifted up my cultivator before I finished the row. But we are cultivating a field over here. 91 is what we're doing. The sunflower contract that I was looking for at the end of the last episode, field number 58, did come up. And I went ahead and I got that harvested. I was harvesting that, and Franco was over here cultivating this field. And it took him forever. I actually got field 58 done, delivered the sunflower, and brought the other 2,500 liters over to our refinery. And I came over here and said, Franco, it's time for you to go. I'll finish up cultivating this field right here. Of course, these are borrowed items, but I should get paid roughly like $4,100 for this. So we got 3 contracts currently we have taken and I have collected on. We had the original sunflower harvesting contract for $8,000 and change. I think it was $1,000 to borrow the items. Field 58's like $5,000 change. Did not have to borrow any items because we had the stuff from the previous sunflower contract, and we got this field right here. So once we get this done, we're going to go ahead and collect on field number 58, and then I'm going to refresh the contracts to see what happens. I don't want to complete the 2 contracts where I borrowed the items on, just in case more contracts come up where I can use that stuff, and that's the plan. So in Monday's episode, there was a couple of comments, and hopefully I can remember the names. Akin and AT kind of made comments about, because I was talking about at that time, getting a bigger tractor first, then a harvester, and they made the comment of, yeah, well, you should probably look into a harvester first. And in Tuesday's episode, that's what I talked about. And I already recorded Tuesday's episode before Monday's came out. So they're kind of in agreement with me in that, yeah, we probably should save up for a harvester first and then maybe look into a bigger tractor. While I've been doing some work here in between episodes, yeah, we're going to be looking at a couple of things on the for sale page to come up. One is a harvester. That would be my first choice. A second one is a seed drill, and the reason why I'm saying seed drill is because I'm looking for a direct drill to help out our precision scoring. And the best one I could see on there is probably the one that I used at the beginning of No Man's Land. That one requires 210 horsepower, I do believe. Our class Arion's a 205 horsepower, and it's a direct drill, 6 meter wide. I looked on the Giants Mod Hub for some drills. There's one I need to check on. It doesn't say it's a direct drill, and but I'm going to download it after I get done here and see once I get it into the game if it says it's a direct drill. If it is, then that might be one I'm going for. I don't want to really use a lot of equipment that I use on No Man's Land or anything recently, if I can help it. As for combines, yeah, there is a combine I would like, but the lowest price that combine can be, base price is like $325, and that's just a combine. I wouldn't, that wouldn't be the header. So with a header, I probably need like $400,000. So that may be too far of a stretch for us next season. We'll have to see. It's nothing I want to get this year, but who knows? It may come up for sale in the next year or so. So I've been looking at some low-end tier combines. I have found a couple, and I think the one I want to look at is the New Holland TX32. I should have wrote down the model number, but it's the old, that used to be the base game harvester for a while. And I don't know, is it actually in the store page? I saw it in the Mod Hub, and I'm like, that's not in game. It's one of those harvesters that I used quite a bit in 15, and no, it's not in the base game. So may have to look at that. It's a cheap harvester. We're looking at a harvester and a header. We're looking at maybe like $70,000 for the combination of 2. So, if the harvester I'm looking for doesn't come up for sale, then yeah, baby, we'll just go ahead and buy that and keep that until we can afford bigger stuff. But then again, I still need more land because right now we just got grass fields, right? So, yeah. A few steps here, a few steps there, but we're going to be bringing in a lot of cash. I mean, we're at 100,000. Let's say we're at 100,000 now, which in theory we are. We're sitting at 93,000 something, and I got all these contracts done. We are at 100,000. We got all those silage bales sitting back at the farm. Some are silage, some are still fermenting. But in October, I'll be able to cut the grass fields again and get another trailer load. So I'm guessing with all those silage bales, I should get like 100 grand from all those silage bales. I would think. Something like that. Also in October, I'm sure all the grass fields that we don't own, those contracts will come back up. And we know those pay like 15 to 20,000 to do the contract, plus whatever I get off the field to go along with it. And then in the meantime, of course, we got a refinery making us like almost 5 grand a day. So by the time we get to next season, like March, April next season, we should be sitting at $250,000, I would think. With these, we should be at $250,000 if I don't buy anything, that is. So yeah, step by step, like I said before, the store is going to kind of determine the path that we take. You know, we've had some things come up in this series already. It's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to buy that just yet, but there it is. Another thing I am looking to get is in the Kubota set is a weed sprayer, and that does spot spraying. And with precision farming, that is key because that'll give us the top score we can for weeds in precision farming. The Kubota set does spot spraying. That will give you like 100 score. Previously, the only one I had in my inventory was the John Deere, which comes with the precision farming. But the Kubota set does spot spraying, and it's a lot cheaper. We're looking at like maybe 28 grand, I think, for that sprayer. Even though we really don't have weeds in our grass field, if I go spray them, my environmental score should go up just because I'm spraying for weeds that are not there. I know it sounds weird, but that's the way it works. And I know this contract is done, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it off anyways. Because it's not often I'm in a John Deere, right? Who knows? We could have one here on the farm next season. You never know. You just never know. Oh, I did a little bit of research on the compost for the refinery. The same modder Zodelzuck. He does, I always say he, they do have a selling point for compost, but the selling point is 100 grand. I mean, it's not just for compost, it's a selling point for all the base game items, plus a lot of the mods that he makes. So like bark mulch, the barrels, that kind of stuff. It's a selling point for all that as well. So, I'm not going to do anything with the compost yet that's in there. We'll see how it goes. Let's go into our contract page right now anyways. So I want to complete harvesting field number 58. Because I did not lease and borrow anything from that. So let's go ahead and collect on that. So I should get paid $69.05, and I wrote that down. The reason why I'm writing it down, because sometimes when I refresh, some of these completed contracts could disappear. So I want to make sure I'm writing down the totals I would have got paid. If they disappear, that's fine. We'll just add in the money, but I'm just kind of keeping them in case other contracts come up that I could kind of use the equipment on. Let's see, it's 43. Did I write that down? 43.24. Yeah, so that's what we got here. The other harvesting contract, that's for potatoes. I just did a potato contract. It was nice, but like I said when I was doing that, potato harvesting, sugar beet harvesting, root crop harvesting in general, if you don't do it for a while, every once in a while you want to do it, and then like halfway through the job, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm done with it. Let's go ahead and refresh contracts, see what comes up. There's another cultivating job. Perfect. We just have to accept the contract because we already got it. Ooh, a fertilizing contract. I'm going to accept that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see where we got to go. Field 58. We're not far from 58, are we? No, we were 91. Where is field number 58? Car 58. Where are you? Yep, showing my age a little bit there, maybe. Anyways, field 58. Oh, wait. Hello, stupid. That's the field you just harvested like about an hour before you started recording. So this field up here is kind of weird in a sense because it's actually 2 sections. So if I decide to, I think we'll cultivate one half of the field, and then I'll get one of the Franks to go ahead and complete the other half. It's kind of split in half. There's some fields on this map that are split in half, and I think that adds a little bit of character to the map, and it's kind of neat. But the first couple times I did contracts, I got done, and it was like, how come it doesn't say the contract's done? I go in there and I'm like, it says it's only 50% done. I couldn't figure it out. Then I looked at the map and I'm like, oh, because that field across from it is also field number whatever it was, at that time. Actually, it could be field number 58 where we're going. Zip around here. So yeah, getting back on how we're going to spend our money, I think it's whatever comes up for sale in the store. It's kind of weird, you know, I would like to buy a harvester, but it's one of those things like, okay, I can buy a harvester, but I have nothing to harvest yet. Okay, so in order to do that, then, you know, we probably need to get ourselves a drill. Okay, but before I get myself a drill, I don't have no land. So it could be land is more important than all those combined to get first. Because we do have a drill, in a sense. We can plant grass or canola. It's a small little drill, but, you know, it's a drill. And like I said, a harvester, we can always buy one relatively cheap. And in case you forgot, we do not do any leasing for our farm on this map. No leasing. No buying, then doing the job and reselling right away. If we buy something and we are going to sell it, we have to sell that item and get a upgrade of that item. So, say like buy a harvester, we can sell the harvester as long as we buy a harvester right back with the money that we kind of got from the harvester we sold. And I know this question does come up quite often. No, we cannot take items from a contract like we're doing here and go work on our own farm. That's why when you get off the field that you're working in, that you've taken contracts on, it'll say this machine is for contract use only. I think, I'm trying to remember back, I think in 15, Farming Simulator 15, most of the jobs that I did, or the only jobs I can remember doing in 15 were, there was mowing jobs and there was transportation jobs. And I think in 15 you could use the mowing set to mow on your own land. In Farming Simulator 17 they really expanded on the jobs, and the jobs were well, say I think you had to go to the field in 17. I don't remember, it's been a while now. Yeah, so then you said, well, there's a job here, you could take it. And in 17 it was kind of different how we did contracting jobs. Back then I think they were called missions, actually. And what you had to do is basically said, oh yeah, we want you to harvest this field. So like harvesting missions back then, we didn't have to transport grain, you just had to harvest a field. And it was kind of weird because the combine would get full and you can still harvest the field and the grain just kept kind of going into the combine. It didn't matter. But the weird thing about that is if you took the equipment off the land that you were on, you had a certain amount of time to get back on the land. So if you tried to take the combine to go combine your own field, I think it gave you like 30 seconds to get back onto the field that you were on. If you didn't, well, the combine or whatever you're using at the time disappeared and the mission would reset. So I know we couldn't use those back then, and when you did the missions back then, you had a certain amount of time to get the job done, and if you got the job done in a certain amount of time, and depending on the time left, you got a bonus for it. And the bonuses back then were crazy. I think they did adjust them after a while in 17 because the bonuses were just insane. Yeah, I know I shouldn't be turning sharp corners in a cultivator, but it's not my equipment, so I don't care. No. It's all good. It's all fine. I will say though, because we do have stones turned on here, as you do know, but when I'm working in other farmers' fields, it's starting to annoy me that there's stones everywhere. And it's too bad that there's no contracts for stone picking, which does seem kind of weird that they couldn't implement that in. But it's the same thing as there's never a contract for spreading lime on a field, which has been in Farming Simulator for a long time now. If there is contracts for spreading lime, I have never seen one. I probably should just double check on the fields, because if all the sunflowers have been harvested, then I may just go ahead and say, let's not worry about it. The two fields right next to us have not been harvested. And I do believe both of those are sunflower. So I'll hang on to it just for now. I was just trying to get more money in the bank account, but then you know what? What for? I'm not going to buy nothing. The store doesn't have anything that we're looking for. So we're just about done here in the month of September. Like I said before, I know when I flash forward and sleep overnight and get to October, those grass contracts are going to come up. I'm probably going to do those off camera because we've done enough of that here in East Vineland so far. So, oh, and that does remind me, I remember at the end of the last episode, there was a sewing contract that I wanted to do. But when I logged in and started recording today, that contract wasn't there. So that's why we're not doing that. If you may remember that, that's why I logged in, it wasn't there. So I started refreshing the contracts. That's when this contract, field number 58, popped up. I was like, well, okay, I'll go harvest that. I'm fine with it. But I'm just not getting the extra grain that I used to back in the Farming Simulator 19 days. We used to get a decent amount, like off a field this size here, which is this field here, and that field behind me, that's field 58 as well. I'm guessing I would have got like 8,000 or 9,000 liters of sunflower extra. But today, yeah, only like 2,500. That's all I got off it. That's sitting in the refinery. I have not turned the refinery on to turn the sunflower into diesel, compost, methane, pig food. I don't remember what the other one was. But as for the compost, like I said, there is a mod I could buy or download and buy and put on the map for 100 grand for a sell point for compost. There are some production buildings that do take compost to make other things, but I'm trying to stay away from production buildings to a point on this map. And I don't want to just start saying, okay, we'll just have that one, because I know what's going to happen. I'll say, yep, we just got to have this one, we just got to have that one. Right now, we're just, of course, we got the refinery, which is a production building. We're going to buy the grain mill so we can make our own cracked corn for the chickens and then produce flour. And the only other one I may get is the oil production. So we might be able to make sunflower, canola, olive oil. Probably won't make because I don't want to get into olives on this map. And I think on this map here, but don't hold me to it, but I think we can bring soy there and make soy oil. Like I said, don't hold me to that, but I think I saw that in the description when I was looking at the map before episode 1, of course. So, but don't hold me to it. But if you do know, leave a comment below. Like, yes, the oil factory here does take soybeans to make soybean oil. That's what I wanted to say. Anywho, I'm going to finish up this side of the field, and then we'll get a worker to go ahead and complete the field down there. And we're going to go on and let's see, what else I want to do here. Hang on a second here. Let me get the contract page back out. Yeah, we're going to go and fertilize field number 12, which is not going to be far from our farm. It's going to be somewhere over there. This is something I want to get more involved in Farming Simulator. Start doing more things first person and getting used to the working with of, you know, just driving straight ahead, not having to look at the implement behind you just to make sure you're getting it right and doing okay. Once you the stubble in the ground helps out when you're cultivating and plowing to get an idea where you should be. Of course, if you had GPS installed, which I turned off GPS, GPS would definitely help out because you just like you know, hit like drive, it'll drive for you. But yeah, I'm trying to learn how to do more first-person stuff. Maybe coming here on the channel more in the future. And speaking of the channel, you may have noticed the past week and a half or so, I mentioned this in yesterday's episode of No Man's Land, but I realize a lot of people are not starting to watch that series anymore. So I'll go over it again, but if I'm repeating myself from yesterday and you heard it before, I apologize. But yeah, in the last week and a half or so on the channel, we've been having like 2 episodes per day, just because there's a lot of games coming out or have come out. A Plague Tale Innocence is one I brought back because I'm going over that one. That game again because the sequel is coming out to that in about a month's time, so I had to refresh my memory on the storyline of that, and I'm glad I did because I have forgotten a lot about that storyline. So that's going to help me out when the sequel comes out. Of course, we had a Construction Simulator come out. I'm trying to get more episodes out of Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2. I haven't even gotten back into the Angler Call of the Wild since I put out... I have not even been in the game, just haven't had a chance to. Slight chance this afternoon, if you're watching this when it goes live, I have Electrician Simulator. Finally got into that game. That's been in my inventory for like about 3 weeks. But I don't know if I've already got it recorded. I just don't know when I want to publish it. I don't know if it's going to be this afternoon or tomorrow. Of course, we still got My Time at Sandrock. We're still rocking that one along. And of course, ATS. I know there are some people out there, the videos I'm not getting to, they want me to get to. One is SnowRunner. I know a lot of people like, well, yeah, continue with SnowRunner. I'd like to right now. I just, yeah, time-wise, it's kind of killing me. And more people want me to get into more episodes of ATS. Some want me to get into the same thing I'm doing ATS, to do it in Euro Truck Simulator, which it'd be nice, but I yeah, just don't. Running 2 series of that, of doing the same things, you know, I understand what it'd be kind of good, but at the same time, I'm doing the same thing in ATS. It's just that the locations would be different. I know some people with My Time at Sandrock want me to go back and redo My Time at Porsche. For that, I would say that's probably not going to happen, just because, you know, going by what My Time at Sandrock does for views, I don't think Porsche is going to do any better at all. All right, I think I am done cultivating here. I got to move this combine over. Fold that on in. Actually, I'll fold the header in as well. Don't know if I'll be using this again or not, but we'll just get it out of the way for now. And also on the channel, you may have noticed last week I had like a 1-minute video. I need to put more of those out. Those are YouTube shorts. Yeah, it's got to be a thing that we got to do as content creators now. YouTube is really pushing us to do YouTube shorts in order to meet certain requirements. So I don't mind doing them. I know when I put out that video, there was a couple comments like, great video, it's kind of short, I almost missed it. And it's like, well, that's why they're called YouTube shorts. That's all I can say about that. So you might see some videos come out that are like only a minute long. Just be quick little funny parts I do, or something I'm not quite sure yet. Got to figure out how I want to approach that. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves a worker for this side of the field. Nope, this one right here. There we go. We are over here. Create job. And then click on this field. So, like this, what I was saying before, field 58 is 2 separate fields. So if I want a course play worker, it only recognizes the outside edge of the field. So it's only going to do half of field 58, not the other half. So just be aware of that if you happen. That could be true on any map. Now, let's see. Let's go like that. And yeah, we'll just leave it like that. And do that. And you're starting over there, so let me make sure I get the starting point as well, just in case. Drive them around, and let's see who decides to show up for work today. Well, what do you know? It looks like Francine. Looks like Francine's going to go ahead and take over cultivating field 58 the rest of the way for us. Let's teleport over to... I really would like to use the 710. It just looks kind of funny. 710 or 730? 710, right? Yeah, 710. You know what? Let's use the 710. I don't care if it looks funny or not. No, we used all the lime that we spread lime with this last time. Yep, it does look funny, I know. Let's go pick up our fertilizer here. And let's take all the fertilizer that we have. Oh good, it does reach the other one, perfect. Field number 12, I can see it flashing before my eyes, just like my life. Let's head on down and get that one done. There's a 710 in front of this machine somewhere. Chickens are doing the chicken thing, 31 chickens. Eventually we'll have enough chickens to where they make enough eggs where we can actually sell some. And the good thing is I can use our baling trailer, just pick them up and put them on there and bring it on down and sell them. Our grass field is ready for harvest, but it's not at its full height. And there's that JCB that we have borrowed for the harvesting contracts. Still not sure exactly what I want to do around the fuel refinery. I don't know if I want to put down the generators from the modular BGA to get me more money from the energy that we're going to have. And there's field 11, so field 12 is going to be right after it. That's how numbers work, you know. They kind of go in order sometimes. Yeah, there's stones / rocks, I think, in just about every field that there is. So once again, this will be a prime example. I'm not sure if I've actually shown it yet. I know we talked about it 5 or 6 episodes ago, whatever it was, about fertilizing and not being able to check other farmers' fields when you got precision farming on to know how many fields are left that could possibly need fertilizing. And if I bring up this map here, the full map, let's get into field number 12. And once I'm in a field I can fertilize, you can see all the other fields. So the fields with no color in it, that means there's no fertilizer in it. The light blue means it's had one stage, and the dark blue means it's fully fertilized. So that's about the only way you're going to know with precision farming on, other than your own fields, which you check on the precision farming icon. You have to get into a field with a contract and see, like, okay, you can kind of guess how many contracts might be available for you to fertilize. Anywho, let me go ahead and turn that big map off. Let me scroll on back. What am I set for? Wide spreading? Yeah, we're good there. Should take like a pass or two. Fertilizing contracts are my favorite friend because they do pay rather well. And now with a fertilizer spreader that can do 42 meters wide, it doesn't take that long. Like harvesting field 58, the one that we're cultivating now, I think that took me about 35 minutes to harvest all that. And of course deliver it, which was not that big of a deal. And I'm only getting paid like five and a half grand. And that's with equipment that I had. Fertilizing that field, probably I'll get paid like 4 or 5 grand, and I can have it done in a matter of a minute or two. Speaking of being done in a minute or two, we are done with field number 12. Let's go collect on that one. Let's bring in the money. Make sure I collect on the correct one. Yep, we're all good there. Yeah, the harvesting potatoes, it's kind of weird. If you look at them like, okay, well, what you may say, what's field number 27? Well, it's going to be one that's red. Down here. So you may say, well, that field's not that big until you get down there and then you start doing the work. And that could take me a good 45 minutes to do it. We got another field down here that needs its tops removed. And other than that, all the other fields, I know these two are sunflower. I'm not too sure what these fields are over here. What crop is that? I don't familiar. Okay, so that's sorghum and sunflower, and there's another field over here. Might be this field here, number 8, that's ready for harvest. Well, field number 12 is done. Quick and easy. I think we're going to go back, though, and just to wrap up a few things here on this episode, I think I want to do some landscaping around the chickens. Just with some painting and some textures, just to make it look a little bit more farmy, I guess, is the word I want to use. I have no idea what word I want to use, but that's the word we're going to try to use. We're going to make it look more farmy around there. We put it down, and I really haven't done much texturing around there. Need some touch-up work. The one question I want to ask you guys, has anyone done this? I don't know why it came to my mind while I was at work today. But I was thinking about this map here and thinking about how we sometimes can cheese a contract, meaning how can you cheat on a contract a little bit. And I know it's been mentioned before, like, well, how about if we buy a field with crop in it, and then someone said, well, and use the combine like we have, can we, no, you can't harvest with contract equipment on your own farm. We already went over that. But what would happen if both of these fields right here, sunflower fields, came up for contract? I harvested the fields. I collected the grain. What happens after I collect the grain if I just go in and cancel the contract? Does the grain disappear out of my trailer? Or does it stay in your trailer? And it's got to be in your trailer, because if you use the trailer that comes with the contract, when you cancel the contract, the trailer is going to disappear, so it's probably going to take the grain with it. So I'm saying if I were to take a contract in either one of these fields here, harvest the fields, put the grain in my trailer sitting here, and cancel the contract, does anyone knows what happened? Now, I don't want to do it, because to me that is really cheesing the system a little bit too far. I don't want to go that far in cheesing the system. I'm just kind of curious. I don't know what would happen. Part of me wants to try it, and maybe I'll try that on... Maybe I should just try that on another map just for fun and make that a YouTube short. I may do that just to see what would happen, because I don't know. I don't know what would happen if I were to take the contract in this field, harvest the sunflowers, put the sunflowers in my trailer, and then don't collect on the contract, but cancel the contract. What happens? I don't know. If nothing happens, then it won't be much of a video. I probably won't do it at all. Anywho, let me get focused back on doing the around the chickens here a little bit. So the interesting thing here is, like I said, I'm not sure if anyone else has done short grass. I'm pretty sure someone else has. But on this map, we can paint with short grass, which is right here. And it doesn't grow any taller, which I kind of like that, because when you put down a house, you can put down short grass, and it kind of looks like a yard other than growing into this. But when you mow the short grass, like I have around here, every time I mow the grass here, if I mow the short grass, it will turn into, I think it's called meadow grass or tall grass. So eventually when we get down the log cabin I thought I was going to put down, when I put that here and we get rid of our little hobo hut, we'll probably put down some short grass. But anyways, I kind of want to come over here and do some texturing around here. I cannot get rid of the grass here. I keep not putting nothing here, and it shows up. So I may paint that with dirt. Let me step out of the way a little bit. Let's go into the store while I'm here. Got nothing new there. Let's go into construction, landscaping. Let's go into painting first. What texture do I want to use? We got forest ground. That says forest ground. Do I want to put like gravel? I think we'll put some gravel around. Let me space it up here. That's okay, so it's not much of gravel as I thought it would be. That's fine, but I want to put it around here so the grass doesn't grow into the feed trough. Alright, then we'll also put gravel over here. And then we'll kind of put like gravel out to here. Some people may be saying, not the grass! Yeah, and I know, grass is kind of important to me right now. I know, I realize that. And we'll kind of cut it out through here like this a little bit. And then just kind of come down like that. I think that will work. Alright, and then we need to paint in the grass area. There's grass and there's grass. What's the difference texture between grass and grass? Okay, one is a lighter green than the other. It's less dense. Kind of like me. Except I might be more dense. A whole bunch of... Wow, I really haven't been into the textures on this map here. There's grass. I think it's meadow grass I need to put down. This other grass will grow into meadow grass on its own. let me go a little bit wider here. I don't want to put tall grass in where the chicken coop is because I want to see the chickens running around. They'll kind of be able to disappear in the tall grass. Now I just thought about it, if you really want to cheese the system, you could go around, cut the meadow grass on your property, go back in, and if you got free landscaping like I do, I had that turned on, you can paint the grass, meadow grass back in, go around, mow it over, rinse, lather, repeat. Just keep doing that if you wanted to. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, I don't want to do tall grass in here. But what I may do, just to make it interesting, let's have a couple of tall grass areas in the chicken coop area. So if the chickens want to hide, they can. Let's not go that big here. Let's go kind of on the small side. And those are supposed to be white flowers, but I don't really see any. Maybe the white flowers only come out like in the summertime or something like that. Let's just pop that one in there like that. A couple of those. Just a couple of flowers around. So that way if the chickens do need to hide, you know, if a hawk flies over, they may need to hide in the tall grass if they can't get to the coop, right? I don't know. Just rambling on to make it somewhat sensible. Alright, so hopefully the grass is not, when I reload the game, the grass is not growing to their feed trough. Because that would be a little annoying. So we got a little bit of gravel for us to drive around on. That's good. Maybe need to trim that up a little bit. So we are good here. We're good there. I think we're all set there. And I think we're all set across the board. Other than waiting for Francine to get done there. A shed would be nice, but I don't want to put any sheds down until we buy some property over there. And that property is rather expensive. Farmland. It's like, what am I trying to hit here? So that land there is 242. I mean, it's expensive, but we're starting to bring the money in a little bit faster. So that's not too bad. That land there, which has a field in, is 228. This land here is rather expensive at 541. But New Farmer has all the farming buildings on there, so that's why that would be expensive. What does that go for? 423. So that's expensive as well. I mean, I could buy, I think there's a house on that one, so that's 206. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. But I think my next two targets, cheap-wise, this one's like 109, and this one is like 152. These fields here wouldn't be bad to get and then plant and then use our harvester in when we can. And that field there is like 273 or something like that. But, you know, when the month of October comes, we should make a whole bunch of cash. Our silage bales, like I said, I may hold on to those until the month of December when the silage price is higher. These are all silage, should be silage. There might be a couple here that are not fermented yet. These still need another month/day. Yeah, they're at 70, 71, 74%. So those will be ready tomorrow. Actually, let's have a peek. Last time I checked, there was like 151 for silage. It was like at the lowest price it could be. And right now it's up to, well, 166. That's not bad, but it can get up to like 191 in January. We're in September. So we got a ways to go. So if I can hold on to it longer and wait till January, we'll get $30 more per 1,000 liters. And I don't know how many liters we got here. It's 7,000 liters per bale. So yeah, just do your own math there if you want. But anyways, I'm going to let Francine finish cultivating that field. I'm going to try to do a decent amount of contracts in between. I'll probably see you in the month of October. If any of the grass contracts come up, I'll probably have those done or almost done, other than selling and collecting on them. And maybe I'll even have my grass fields, because they should be ready next month as well. I'll probably want to do these first because I need to harvest. Let's see, what field is it? I need to harvest this grass field over here first because it doesn't have the pH. pH is second level. Yeah, so the pH in this field here is terrible. We did spread lime into it, but that's not going to register until I cut the grass. And then, of course, we got the weed control, which I don't have a weeder yet. And the last one, the reason why the score is staying at 50 is because I didn't do it with a direct drill. And that's why I'm kind of looking at the direct drill that I want to get. The score over here is 72. That needs... what's the third one? Weed control. That's right. Weed control and direct drilling. It's a little bit low on the why is that low on nitrogen? Should be actually pretty darn good. I don't know why. And this one here I can't really control because of that little green dot that I can't get rid of. That little green dot right there that still thinks there's a canola there. No matter how many times I landscape it, paint it over it, still think that's part of a field. I don't know. And also it's showing land here, which I really haven't done anything, but that would need weed control, which I could take care of that with the weed sprayer or tillage. Actually, how much that weed sprayer I'm looking at, I might as well show it to you because it's not that expensive. If I go into sprayers, and this is part of the Kubota pack, I would need this one right here, not this one here, because we're not going to really have too many weeds on our property, at least I don't think. It's only $26,500, but if I come in here, I can get weed spot spraying. How much does that cost? Oh my God, that costs $39,000. Okay, that kind of hurts a little bit. That brings up to 60 grand. So what does this cost? See and spray. I think it's the same thing. That is 39,000. So that's not into the price yet either. Okay, so it's a little bit more expensive than I thought. But it is something to think about. And if it comes up for sale, then I may have to go ahead and buy it. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in East Vineland, New Jersey. But until then, have a good one.